The reality in the AFL is the easiest part is getting to the league. Staying in the system is the real challenge, as many fade away quickly. Recent seasons have shown that with a second or sometimes third chance, players who are wasting away or flatlining can do complete 180s and become stars in the competition. When the potential is seen in small bursts, it can be as simple as moving from one end of the ground to another to unlock a player's true talents. The most common example of this is the failed forward that becomes a great defender. Overall, it shows how hard it is to be a key forward and why the good ones earn big money. We look no further than two of the key defenders named in the 2023 All-Australian team. Collingwood's captain Darcy Moore hasn't always been the hyper-athletic centre-half back he is today. His first 4 years at the Pies were underwhelming. He mainly was situated forward, and his second and third years gave returns of 24 and 25 goals. They were okay numbers, but he was still inconsistent, and the dreaded hamstring was always a lingering factor that caused him to miss a few games over the 2 seasons. It hit him hard, especially in 2018, when he only played 7 games. He didn't play from round 20 onwards, and it resulted in him missing the grand final. But in the 2018 season, he was shifted for a few games into defence.
It sort of came down to a discussion with the coach, and he was just sort of said that he thought that I could do some real damage for us back there and help to turn the ball over and set up our offence, and it's sort of worked a treat.
The rest is history. He had a chance to leave in 2018 at one point, but the change has freed up more completely to use his unbelievable athleticism to cover ground and intercept everything. Individually, it's led to 2 All-Australian appearances, and in the last 3 years he has been at least a top 4 rated key defender in each season. It's the prototype example of how a positional switch can change the entire trajectory of a career. A move just as influential has been James Sicily. He did kick 30 goals in 2016, but halfway through the following season, the move was made. He is slightly undersized for a traditional key defender, but his booming kick and ability to read the play made the switch a no-brainer. It's hard to believe his only All-Australian appearance came this year. His level of play in defence has been in the top tier for a while now. The only hiccup came in 2020 when he tore his ACL, costing him that season and the 2021 campaign. But from 2019 onwards, he hasn't dipped below 20 disposals a game, with his 2023 by far being his career best at 26 disposals and 3.5 intercept marks per game. These two are the premier examples of the move, and although others haven't reached the heights these two have, it still rejuvenated their careers. The McGovern brothers both started as forwards, but Jeremy did make the switch early on in his career before he was an established player. For Mitch, the move to defence in 2021 really got him going at the Blues. His time at Carlton hasn't lived up to his contract, but for the first time in 2023, he contributed. His intercepting and rebound out of defence led to a career best year. GWS's Harry Himmelberg played his first 7 years as a forward, but his switch last year was similar to Sicily's. His rocket leg and free rein to join in attacks has boosted his stocks dramatically. Although he started life under Adam Kingsley forward, he has settled back in defence and will stay there. The move no doubt helped his manager negotiate the monster 6-year contract he signed to stay with the Giants for life. Liam Jones' shift made him a Bulldog reject in 2014 to their saviour in 2023, while Jeremy Howe's aerial shows as a forward were good for TV, but his time at Collingwood as an interceptor has led to him being crucial in their team makeup. And the last notable move has been Nick Blakey. Titled as a key forward in the making, it's been a strange shift to halfback, where his speed and penetration has made him somewhat of a cult figure and one of the best rebounders in the competition. Not bad for a player coming into the AFL, labelled as one of the best key forward prospects. We have seen many of the best midfielders transition from forward to permanent on-ballers. Christian Petrarca, Patrick Dangerfield, Marcus Bonampelli are a few examples. This is all part of natural progression and growing up in the competition. It's rare to see the shift go the other way. Toby Green has mastered it, but Carl Langford was a surprise move that elevated his status. Most of the talk about younger players is getting them ready to be midfielders, but it's refreshing to see a player move out of the middle third and have impact. Not everyone is destined to become a gun follower or winger. Majority of Langford's AFL career had been split between midfield and forward. In 2021, he did attend 25% of Essendon centre bounces and has spent his other midfield time on a wing. This past season he was set to be used in defence, but with injuries he moved forward. The result was 51 goals. He plays more of a medium forward type role, but was graded as a key forward and was ranked 7th in that category. It's a great example of a middle of the rung wingman using his aerial ability and kicking to become a potent forward. It's these crossroads in a player's career that can make or break them. It does seem more than ever that clubs are willing to take a chance and trial them in other positions. So who could be some players next year who are stuck battling for form or for a position in their side that could flourish in a switch-up? It's been a frustrating 2 seasons for Changwath Jiath. Just 22 games in back-to-back campaigns has Jiath coming into a critical 2024. He's dealt with injuries relating to his calf, Achilles, and the major one being a groin strain suffered in the VFL. The Hawks have plenty of running defenders in Jarman Impey, Seamus Mitchell, Jack Scrimshaw and Josh Weddle. Could Jiath make the switch forward? He has the capable athleticism, and Hawthorn's forward line is the weakest part of their team. At 185 centimetres, he could play as a medium that could beat defenders in the air, but be more than adept when the ball hits the ground. Sam Wiedemann couldn't buy a goal in his first year at the Bombers. He kicked just 15 in 16 appearances, and it led to him getting dropped to the VFL. He did trial in defence while playing in the twos, and he should try it again next year. Ben Mackay comes in, but Zerk Thatcher is out. Mackay and Jordan Ridley, who will return from injury, are clear starters, but can Wiedemann challenge Jaden Laverde for the last spot? If Wiedemann can lock down opponents, then Mackay and Ridley can be free to intercept, or if Mackay takes the number 1 forward, Wiedemann may be given the chance to roam. It's worth a shot for the 26-year-old who has just never consistently put it together as a forward. It might be a wild idea. Bailey Smith to defence. It's obvious he wants to be a full-time midfielder and graduate from the high half-forward role he has been playing. 2023 was a career worst year in terms of player rating, and besides a couple of flashes, he was regularly quiet. But with Taylor Duray a year older and Jason Johannesson constantly battling with injuries, it may be worth a shot putting Smith back. He still has great run and carry, and with his burst, he's hard to stop. It may also force him to work on his kicking efficiency, which was at just 51.5%, second worst only to his first season. Overall, it might give him the freedom to use his dash, while also being a chance to help him work on his biggest weak point. It's a big long shot, but if a coach was to do it, it would be Luke Beveridge. You never know where the next star might come from, and maybe in 2024, someone will emerge out of the shadows and be reborn in a new position.